Imagine a land where reality actually outstrips fantasy. Imagine a land that is surrounded by war zones, and yet, by some miracle, remains blissfully peaceful. Imagine a land that is officially Muslim, but tolerates alcohol, and prostitution flourishes. Imagine a city that has emerged almost overnight out of the desert like a mirage, built by the sweat of indentured workers. Imagine a place like no other. It's unusually quiet this morning at the Camel racetrack in Dubai. All the real excitement is happening just down the road. For today is the final meet of this year's racing season, horse racing that is. It is also the social event of the year, where the rich and mighty get to mingle with the lower strata of Dubai society. They've all come here to witness the richest horse race in the world. At this year's Dubai World Cup, just over $21 million is up for grabs. However, there'll be no wagering by the public at this event, for Dubai is part of a Muslim state, and gambling is forbidden. No, all that money will go to the owners of the winning thoroughbreds. And among those owners is the host of this event, Dubai's leader, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Sheikh Mohammed is arguably the biggest gambler here today. He's betting that his vision of Dubai as the center of a 21st century Persian Gulf renaissance will prove to be a winner.
Sheikh Mohammed came and said this is now a time for Dubai to go global, to surpass its locality and the region and try to reach to the furthest possible point in the globe.
To help fulfill his vision, Sheikh Mohammed turns to the male members of his ruling Maktoum family. They help run what is known as Dubai Inc. For Dubai functions like a family business, but a family business whose CEO is not afraid to take risks. A stunning example of Sheikh Mohammed's risk-taking juts out of the Persian Gulf.
There was an idea to put the hotel on land, and His Highness said, no, he said, we want something dramatic, something inspiring coming right out of the sea, so we would build our own island and we would build the hotel on the Burj Al Arab island.
Burj Al Arab is linked to the mainland by a closely guarded causeway, one way to keep gawking tourists from this many-splendid edifice, described by the media as the only seven-star hotel in the world.
The market called it seven-star. There may not be a seven-star hotel, but I would certainly claim that it is the most luxurious hotel in the world.
Burj Al Arab, with its gold leaf, marble, satin and crystal, oozes over-the-top opulence. Almost the height of the Empire State Building, it is also an engineering wonder with a Teflon-coated veneer shaped like a sail. At this hotel, there are no rooms to rent, only double-floor suites, a mere 202 of them, with rates starting in the low thousands of dollars. Everything is done to pamper the hotel guests, from the personal butlers who are on call 24 hours a day, to a fleet of hotel courtesy cars, but not just any fleet, for this is, after all, Burj Al Arab.
Sheikh Mohammed said they have to be white and they have to have blue interiors. So you will notice all of our Rolls Royces, I think we have 16 of them now, including the new Phantoms. They're all white and they all have blue interiors, and that will be very much continue to be the hallmark of the Burj Al Arab long into the future.
Arriving or departing guests who would rather avoid being stuck in the world-class traffic jams of Dubai can opt for an alternate means of transportation. The hotel's helipad is used sparingly. Guests complained about the noise. However, the helipad was used as the site of a great publicity stunt. The Agassi Federer tennis match put Burj Al Arab onto the newscasts and front pages around the world and helped consolidate the name of Dubai as a brand.
This is one city that has done its share of marketing and promoting itself. So, you know, the attraction comes with the good marketing and the good selling of Dubai.
Dubai's biggest promoter and ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, is the latest in a line of the Maktoum family who've reigned over this place. The Maktooms first arrived to this tiny port town more than a century and a half ago. And through most of that reign, there wasn't much about Dubai worth promoting.
Well, going back into history to the 1950s, the place was radically different from what it is right now. It was just a simple city of no importance at all. And when you talk about poverty, then, you know, you could smell and you could see and you could sense that people were really in subsistence, and there was hardly anybody who was educated at the time. My father never had any formal education. He didn't know how to read or write.
This was a town of no distinction, a desultory home to traders, pearl divers, with the occasional pirate or smuggler taking refuge along the shores of its creek. And then, in the mid-1960s, a small reserve of oil was discovered in Dubai. Paltry in comparison to those of its neighbors in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia, but big enough that Dubai's leader saw a chance to transform this desert land.
Sheikh Rashid was the founding father of modern Dubai. He was a businessman. He focused on economics, and this is where Dubai is different. It has a focus. Economic is the focus of Dubai.
Sheikh Rashid started modernizing the city. New roads and buildings sprung up, and a brand new harbor down the coast was created. When it opened, it was the biggest man-made port in the world and gave Dubai its first entry into the record books. In the early 1970s, Dubai joined with 6 surrounding emirates and formed a state called the United Arab Emirates. Of the group, Abu Dhabi might have had most of the oil, but Dubai had the drive and ambition. By the 70s, Dubai saw a flood of foreigners turn a sleepy town into an instant city. These early expatriates, or expats as they're known, were mostly from South Asia and surrounding countries like Iran and Iraq. They were here because in this tax-free port city, they could see that they could make some real money.
So this is a transient place like any ports in the world is. Port cities usually are cities that bring in people on a temporary basis, and after they make it, they go back to their own country. So we expect many of these Asian, European, American, Arabs, whatever nationalities they come from, they come in here. Some decide to stay longer, and some, you know, cut their visits. But on the whole, they are not meant to be here indefinitely.
That's certainly what Hans Kraus, an architect from Canada, thought when he arrived in the early 90s. This was going to be a temporary job for him. 16 years later, he's still here.
I came in July '91, and Dubai is basically unrecognizable. It's a completely different town. When I come from my place, as you approach Sheikh Zayed Road, you can see the entire horizon like a brown haze, which is the pollution.
Hans Kraus is working on a structure that will soar above that pollution and become the latest addition to Dubai's growing list of superlatives. When finished, the Burj Dubai will lay claim to the title of the tallest building in the world. The pace of construction is amazing. Close to 5,000 men work 2 shifts a day at the tower, which rises 2 floors a week. By the summer of 2007, it had already surpassed Toronto's CN Tower as the world's tallest freestanding structure. Hans Krause's job as an executive architect is to make sure that all the interior finishes are completed as specified.
I guess we just got to make damn sure that the fire rating gets maintained here.
While the bulk of the building is constructed of reinforced concrete, the top part will be steel, allowing for the possibility of adding additional stories if needed or wanted.
The building, I can tell you that it will be more than 700 meters and it will be more than 160 stories, and it was designed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill with the possibility of changing the height.
This $20 billion project is a development by a publicly traded Dubai company called Emaar, with one very large minority shareholder, the government of Dubai. And that government is, of course, Sheikh Mohammed and the Maktoum family. Even before the first level of the Burj Dubai was completed, virtually all the apartment units sold out in 2 evenings.
Investors wanted to buy 3, 4, 5 floors, which Emaar did not permit. Investors were limited to maximum 2 floors. And I believe like a 2-bedroom apartment, I'm not sure what the going rate is. I'm sure it's got to be $1.5 million somewhere in there.
Emaar has gone after another record, the world's biggest mall. Dubai Mall, a 12 million square foot monster, will dwarf the 30-odd malls already in Dubai, including the city's mall of the Emirates. When the shop till you drop crowd tires of trolling through the 450 shops and restaurants, they can check out the temporary kiosk selling perhaps the most popular item in all Dubai, real estate. The real estate market is red hot. Properties are grabbed up on the basis of nothing more than some models and brochures. Apartments can be sold 3 or 4 times before a single grain of sand has been moved. Some are concerned that this property bubble might burst overnight, but that hasn't stopped the buying frenzy.
How did you make the money?
I bought it at 715.
Oh, very good. And now they will increase next month?
No, I will not buy. I bought 3 already. It's enough.
I know. No, I mean, next month they will increase 5%.
Yeah, I know. In 2 days.
Dubai is known as one of the fastest growing cities in the world. This massive development is driven by Sheikh Mohammed's decision to turn Dubai into a hub for finances, services, and especially tourism. And here at the Mall of the Emirates, one of the biggest tourist attractions is its indoor ski hill. Kept at a steady -2 degrees centigrade, even as temperatures outdoors might soar into the 40s. There are plans to open another ski hill. Its slope will be able to revolve, another first for Dubai. Dubai is caught up in a building frenzy. Something like 1/5 of the world's construction cranes are here. While the construction cranes jostle for space in the skies over Dubai, there is another development company jostling for bragging rights. A company known as Nakheel is behind the extraordinary man-made island developments visible from space as they emerge out of the Persian Gulf. It is a construction conglomerate that is ultimately owned by Sheikh Mohammed and the Maktoum family.
Yeah, that's exactly. So we can actually...
Among the senior management at Nakheel is a Canadian. Robert Lee was recruited from Vancouver, where he worked on some of that city's largest property developments.
But the dance first.
The biggest difference that anybody goes through when they first come here is a sense of timing. The typical real estate development in North America and other places would take between 5 to 10 years. Here, it's 3 years. So everything you do is a lot compressed, and you got to do it fast.
As quickly as building plans are announced, they're gobbled up by voraciously anxious buyers, eager to indulge in Dubai's real estate banquet. And by far the most coveted properties are those that have some view of the sea.
If you look at Dubai from one end to the other end, it's about 65 kilometers of shoreline. That's it. So the mandate was to create additional beachfront land because water is considered life. So we have this. In the beginning, we actually created an island like this. I was saying, hey, this looks great. But what we've been mandated is, no, create the land that has a maximum linear frontage of water. So do it this way. So what doing this way, you actually create waterfront real estate that's much greater than anything you can imagine.
Sheikh Mohammed was behind the plan to move desert rock sand to the sea. Another plan was to move the sea to the desert.
Although it's middle of the land, the developer, Nakheel, has pumped seawater into this area, and every house actually has a waterfront view.
One of those houses with a waterfront view belongs to Robert Lee.
When this house was first marketed, this was just nothing but desert, and it was marketed about $700,000. We're sitting on a quarter acre. House is about 5,000 square feet, so it's considered estate lot. Now it's about $2.5 million in 3 years.
27. So what's so cold about it?
I think there is a overriding feeling from people who are coming here and saying, this is just temporary place. I am here just to make money, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and I'm going to be out of here. When my bank account reaches a certain level, that's it, I'm back.
For many expats, Dubai is an economic oasis, a place to stop briefly, replenish the bank account, and then move on.
Sometimes I feel somewhat lonely and then think about our families in Vancouver. So my heart is always in Vancouver. I really want to go back. Yeah.
That's why we go back every summer.
I really want to go back for good. Yeah.
My time is numbered.